First, Dan Van Gundy, he's got faith in his team. As you heard him, he said, we've got greatness in the locker room, and a big part of it is the way they play together and how hard they played. But they're up against a team that couldn't be playing any better at the perfect time of year. Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics now 5 straight playoff wins after winning the last 3 against Cleveland and the first 2 against Orlando. Allen to the basket. Oh, what a finish from Ray Allen. Garnett. Perkins again. Banks it in. Excellent ball movement. And the Celtics go up by 10. Timeout Orlando. All right, Doris. That's a 3 from Pierce, and a massive start for the Celtics, 19-6. They've exploded out of the gate, a 12-0 run.
And it's all fueled by the turnovers, because the Magic really have to, again, they're going to need more penetration at the basket.
Shot clock down to 5. Carter down to 2. Nelson has to put it up. Had to rush it. Perkins the rebound.
And this is bad Magic offense. Tentative, almost afraid. At some point, understand how you're being defended. This is game 3. Put your head down and make an aggressive attacking play.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. And a very strong first quarter for the Celtics. Garnett on the pull-up. Knocks that one down. 14 straight points for Boston. Orlando needing to keep their poise right now from this hard hit to start the game. Carter spinning inside. Bank shot won't go. Pierce the rebound. Here come the Celtics. Pierce for 3. Rondo out hustles Howard. Gets the rebound. Goes underneath. Misses the banker.
And this is when your character as a player and as a team is revealed. It is so easy as Nelson goes to the basket and gets fouled. It is so easy to be all together and tough when it's going well. But we saw in Cleveland that series here, game 6, they fell apart mentally. And that's exactly what's happened here. I think the Magic came out with the right intentions, but now you look at Rondo chasing the loose ball down. If that's as hard as you're going to pursue a loose ball, then you're not winning the game.
And right now, their offensive struggles. They've scored 6 points. They have as many turnovers as points. They're 3 of 14 from the field. There's been a double technical on Perkins and Howard. They seem a bit rattled by this aggressive Celtic defense.
And if you forget, as a casual fan, just how good the Celtics started the season. 23-5, dominant defensively. Now they're back to being whole and healthy. I don't think this should be seen as some aberration. This is a championship caliber team when they are healthy.
And foul on Petrus. Remember, Orlando came into this series. Now, granted, they played teams that weren't at this caliber. But after the first 2 rounds, they were the best shooting team in the entire playoffs. And here they're shooting 23%. And in the series, shooting just 40% from the field. This is a good offensive team that is really struggling against a great defensive performance.
Right there, he could have gone in and shot a layup, and maybe it gets blocked, maybe it doesn't. But you're getting nothing if you're thinking pass, if they're able to play you always for the pass.
And he's a good finisher at the rim. Obviously small, but he's usually an attacking point guard. Lewis to Redick. Redick open. Short.
And you can be an attacking player, but a great defense can frustrate you and take your will to be able to make a play. And right now, that's what we're witnessing watching this Celtic defense.
Shot clock down to 2. Allen's going to have to hoist one up. Just gets it off in time. Rondo tips it. Can Davis get it? And the save. First Rondo, then Davis. And Rondo draws a foul on Howard. That's his first. Magic in the penalty. Just the extra effort once again from Rajon Rondo.
And when you work like this, the attitude, the approach, it becomes contagious. So Rondo with the extra effort play, Glenn Davis sacrificing his body keeps the ball alive. Outstanding job across the board by the Celtics.
Log on now to NBA.com to experience the most comprehensive playoff coverage on the web, including live press conferences after every game, in-depth analysis of every series, and much more. Ball out of bounds, Boston ball.
Once again, because of Glenn Davis' attitude and approach, pursuing the basketball, he gives his team an extra possession off a free throw.
Kevin Garnett's intensity and his voice on defense. Carter gets the bounce. Garnett, the former Defensive Player of the Year. They try to bring it up the floor. And the Celtics will inbound.
You just see what Paul Pierce did.
And he's clowning them.
That's having fun. You're 100% correct. That's having fun.
And that's going to be Howard's foul, his second. Barnes just shoves Garnett and goes crashing into the Magic bench.
And that's a flagrant foul.
It should be. As he crashed into Stanbank and he tried to help him.
But that's a dirty play by Matt Barnes.
And then you see the extension with the left arm. That's what really would make it a flagrant.
See, sometimes that's a lot of contact.
You don't have that rational side that's saying, okay, this is Kevin Garnett, dirty play, let me help him out. You're thinking I'm trailing.
Oh, I'm not helping him up.
That's my point.
There's no question I'm not helping him up. But hey, the Magic are a different group, though. You know what I mean? Like, you may disagree with me, but to me, their toughness comes from their coaching staff. I think Barnes is hard playing, but I don't see a lot of, like, tough, nasty competitors. I see at halftime guys just trying to be well-liked and running for political office. Sometimes you can only go so far without killer competitors.
Well, in this series, as Carter turns, shoots, knocks it down. In the grit matchup, it's been a mismatch.
Well, absolutely, and I will go so far as to say their toughness comes from the good times. Coaching, but also the good times. When things are going well, this is a dangerous team to face. When adversity comes and all of a sudden they meet their match, now it's a challenge of who wants it more.
But we'll talk about Orlando, and again, they had another terrific regular season. There's that old sports cliche, you run into a buzzsaw. This Celtics team right now is just playing at such an incredible level. I mean, again, look back. The Cleveland Cavaliers were the best team in the NBA. They won over 60 games again. And in the last 3 games of that series, it's almost like the Celtics took the fight out of them. They're doing the same thing here against Orlando.
If you put guys 1 through 5 in a foxhole on each team, the Celtics are coming out of each one of those foxholes because of their willingness to do whatever it takes to win. They're proven, they're experienced, and they're gritty guys. That's just the fact.
But don't you think during the regular season, one of the things your brother kept talking about, Jeff, was how his team brought it every night. That was one thing you never worried about. It's not that they're trying hard. But...
No. Listen, you are who you are personality-wise. You know, you're not gonna change who you are. It's like as Nelson knocks in a 3. Vince Carter's not going to turn nasty. He's always been a nice guy. It's always been his not. You know, Dwight Howard is a nice person. I mean, they need a few more guys to me. Well, I think they need size, skill at certain positions, but they also need, I think, a 4-man who's legitimately a tough guy at some point.
Ray Allen misfires. Glenn Davis gets the rebound, and he was fouled. Almost 43 minutes a game in the postseason. Nelson can't get that to go. Garnett the rebound. You see Ryan Anderson once again getting his first minutes of the series here in Game 3 tonight. Rashard Lewis on the bench with 4 fouls. Pierce. It's fun to watch. Not many passes, waiting just for a better shot.
Unselfish play, putting the ball on the floor, thinking, let me make a play for my teammate.
Pass too low. And here comes Rondo the other way. That's 13 turnovers. The Celtics with just 4 turnovers in the game. Rightful pass from Rondo. Davis finishes. And the lead back up to 23. Timeout, Orlando. And here comes another standing ovation for the Celtics. Nelson's shot won't go. It lands hard. Gortat the rebound. Carter. Tipped and taken by Rondo.
See, to me, right there, you got to try to dunk that on top of somebody versus dipsy-do underneath. If you're not willing to take the hit, you're not winning these games. You can't even be competitive.
That's the shot selection that we were talking about early as Lewis misses again. Rashard Lewis now 2 for 7 from the field, 0 for 3 from downtown. He's now for the series from downtown 1 for 12. And this was one of the best three-point shooters in the league during the regular season. Nice pass, Rondo, Garnett, dunk, layup, and the body language of Orlando now. A telltale sign it's a 25-point lead. And a foul by Gortat. And Mark, it's just enjoyable watching the entire team, how unselfish they are, not caring who scores.
Well, not just unselfish on the offensive end, but also unselfish defensively. This team is a total team. It starts with Doc Rivers and then having leaders that you can trust that does not accept anything other than going out and doing your best for your teammates. Oh, this bad basketball, and you can't afford to put yourself in holes when you're playing against the elite. So you close out the series and you're in the conference finals, you give life, you're going to pay the price. And that's what the Magic are doing. And I see a team that basically, I think Cleveland quit. And I basically, watching this Magic team, they've just masked it a little better than the Cavs. Because this is a team that's playing uninspired right now on both ends.
So the defense of the Celtics, it just takes the fight out of you.
Oh, stop. And that's what the NBA is all about competition. No one can take your heart unless you let them. I'm telling you that. There is no team that can take your heart. They can beat you. They can beat you bad, but there's not one person that can take your heart unless you give it to them.
Amen. I totally agree with you. The bottom line is you can lose. That's all right to lose.
And I'm going to tell you this, and I told you this, Mark, so you can document this. I told you before the series that I thought it was a mismatch. I thought Boston was clearly the better team in the starting lineup and also on the bench. So it's not like I'm pouncing now. I just thought Boston is too good for him. I did. However, there's a big difference between losing like they lost in the first 2 games and when they got in a deficit tonight. It's that glum look like they're a victim. They're no victims. You get paid to play. And when it gets hard, that's when you define yourself as a player in this league.
No, we talked about it. There was no pressure on the Magic tonight. This was an ideal situation for them to let their head down and go out and play.
See, and I thought they did. They were ready to play. They played hard. They didn't play well. And then when it got tough, instead of showing what they're about and who they are and who they've been for the last 2 years as Ray Allen knocks it in, they gave in when it got hard tonight.
Redick. Again, the defense swarming, knocked away by Davis. Redick calls timeout. Boston not letting up defensively despite the 25-point lead.
Just falls asleep, and Ray Allen winds up with a wide-open look.
Williams misses down the other end.
Can we just call Monday night off?
The Boston Celtics returning home after winning the first 2 games in Orlando. And a good old-fashioned blowout. Paul Pierce got it started. He's had plenty of help. Great defensive effort from the Celtics. They head to the 4th quarter up by 28. 5 players in double figures. Mark credited the team defense as well. Everybody getting involved. That's been the beauty of this resurgence of this team.
Is that Big Baby's picture all the time, or just when he's the leading scorer?
I think they haven't changed one.
Give credit to the Boston players. You think about it, Ray Allen is often their third option. And you could make the case that he'd be the first option for Orlando. And I love how Ray Allen prepares himself, but doesn't complain about shot attempts. And, you know, some games, like last game, he got 6 attempts. He just plays the game the right way. If there's 2 on me, I pass. If there's 1 on me, I shoot.
Well, you look at all 3 of the big 3, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, they were all stars in another place. Garnett in Minnesota, Allen in Milwaukee and Seattle, ball knocked out of bounds, and Pierce here. And they've all sacrificed. We talked about it a lot back in 2008 when they won the title. They're doing the same thing again. Look at Garnett and Pierce, the lowest scoring they've had since their rookie year. Ray Allen, his lowest scoring in 12 years, but they don't care.
And I'm never going to say the big 3 again, because this young man is playing the point guard position arguably as well as you can play it. And watching him get it done as Rasheed Wallace knocks down this shot. If you told, I would never guess in 2008 that I would ever say, if you're trying to be a point guard, young people watching, take a look at Rondo and what he's doing. But today, that's a statement that I would make emphatic.
The Celtics now lead the Eastern Conference Finals 3-0. A long, long night for Dwight Howard and the Magic.